So hello and welcome to another video, and I hope you're all good. And today's video is quite a cool one. We're looking at 10 what I think are essential items that every photographer should own, and the best part of it is that they're all under £50. Now I'm going to use pounds because that's what I'm familiar with, but the truth is you'll probably find if you're based in the US that they're around about the same kind of price. So £50 works out to $50. And in the traditional kind of YouTube kind of way, I have to say that all of these items are things that I purchased myself. Haven't been given any of them for free. I'm not here to endorse any of the products for a company or anything like that. These are all things that I've purchased for myself because I believe they do a good job, and I'm happy to kind of say that they all do. These are all things that I enjoy using on virtually a daily basis. The other thing is I will leave links to all of the items in the description below, and they are going to be affiliate links for Amazon. So if you do decide to purchase any of these, it'd be really cool if you use the links below. I get a tiny percentage from each sale, but it doesn't cost you a penny extra. But they are Amazon affiliate links. I'm sure you've come across those before on YouTube. Also, I say it in every video, go and check out my Instagram feed. It's always cool to see what I'm doing on a regular basis. And if you enjoy my work, obviously give me a follow. That'd be great. And finally, before we get into the video, if you like the look of any of these items, or if you've got any other suggestions yourself, please do leave a comment below, because I think it's really good for other people to say their thoughts on it, as well as sharing other items, and we're all basically here to help each other out. That's my main goal for this channel, is that I want people to, you know, have an opinion and basically help each other out so that we all kind of progress. But let's get into the video. So the first item up is a monopod. Now, most people go straight for a tripod because they are more practical. Obviously, you can leave the camera on its own, you can go off, do what you need to do, that's fine. But the monopod is a brilliant piece of kit, and I was really surprised to find that they don't actually cost that much. So this is an Amazon Basics one. It's carbon fiber. It's basically got the twisting locking mechanism rather than the normal kind of grip ones as well. And I've used this thing so much when I didn't think I would. I use it mainly for video, admittedly, because it really helps stabilize the camera, but for things like sports photography, anything where you're trying to track fast-paced things, and a lot of the time even just taking the weight out of the camera. So a lot of the cameras we use can be quite big and heavy these days, and it just helps take that edge off your shoulders, your arms and things while you're trying to use the camera. And I just can't believe how much I've really enjoyed using it. And it weighs next to nothing. It isn't the most expensive thing in the world, and it's just become an invaluable piece of kit. So I have really enjoyed that. Again, as with all the products, I'll leave a link in the comments below for it as well, and highly recommended. And second up, we have the L bracket. Now, if you've never come across these, they're a real simple tool that basically you put onto the base of your camera using the tripod mount, and it gives you the actual bracket mechanism where you can place it on a tripod. But really cool, you can actually turn the camera around and mount it on a tripod the other way. So you can use a landscape, use your camera in a landscape form, or turn it to use it in a portrait form. And again, this is one of these things that just sits on my camera. I rarely take it off the camera. This is an Arca Swiss mount, but I'm sure you can get other mounts as well. And just a brilliant little piece of kit that I never thought that much of in the first place. I never really thought I'd use an L bracket. Now, like I say, I barely take it off, and this one's scuffed and absolutely kind of like scratched to pieces and things, but it still does the job. And just a real simple piece of kit that is absolutely essential. So third up, and in a very similar kind of vein, I've got a Joby Gorillapod, Joby, Goby, however you say it, but it's basically a Gorillapod. Now, you'll see a lot of people using these for vlogging and things like that, but the truth is I do still use mine as a mini tripod. So if I'm going out in the streets and taking shots, if we get into a situation where, like, you know, I'd love to do a long exposure or something like that, but I haven't got my big tripod with me, having this just in a bag, because it's really light, really easy to take, will get you out of so many situations. Obviously, as you'll probably know by now, the legs can kind of bend and contort, so you can wrap them around branches and things like that. It's not something I would do on a common basis because, you know, these cameras are really expensive. I don't just want to leave it on a tree branch, but you can just obviously place it on a flat surface, use it as a traditional tripod in that respect, and they work an absolute treat. And again, for the price, this has been one of those essential items that I carry with me on most days, so worth checking out. So next up, and getting into a little bit more kind of practical items, is rechargeable batteries. Now these are years and years old. I'll find a link to something that I'd recommend in the description below, but these ones have lasted me for absolutely ages, and it's just one of those essential piece of kits that's always worth having in your bag, carrying everywhere, because they do come in incredibly useful. Now, a lot of people might just buy normal batteries, use them till they're dead, then dispose of them correctly. I choose to use rechargeable batteries purely because I can, you know, obviously recharge them, but it's once a fortnight, once every few weeks or so, I'll just charge these, make sure that they're absolutely brimmed off, and then I've got them available to use if I ever need them, and I can't tell you the amount of times that these have come in useful. So again, simple thing, but rechargeable batteries. And the next item we'll talk about, again in similar kind of respect to the rechargeable batteries, is a battery bank. Now these come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. This is an absolutely massive one. It's like at 23,000 milliamps or something, which will charge my iPad, charge my phone, even these in modern days with the kind of, you know, USB-C connections with cameras. A lot of the time you can even charge cameras and stuff with these things. So this is a slightly larger one. I've got another smaller one that's a little bit more pocketable, but just another essential item. And because we're generally carrying sort of 3 or 4 different electrical items around at once with us, including things like phones, iPads, cameras and whatnot, having that extra kind of juice available is really important. And these things, again, absolute lifesavers, especially if you're out in the field, out in an environment where you can't get access to a charging point very quickly. Just an essential piece of kit for what we do in the modern day. Next up, and again, another one that you'll probably think, oh, that's really obvious, but memory cards. Now, I go through hundreds and hundreds of photos whenever I'm out on a shoot, and having large capacity memory cards is absolutely essential. Now, I have been using the SanDisk memory cards for years. They're great, they're really cheap, and touch wood, I've never had one fail. They always do a fantastic job. It's not to say that they won't fail, it's just that I've been really lucky with that. But recently I did upgrade to the Pro grade ones. Now, they are going to be a little bit more expensive and probably out the price range for this video, that's for sure, but it goes to show that you do have a variety. Pro grade ones have been fantastic if you do have a little bit more to spend, but absolutely these SanDisk ones, they always end up on a special offer on Amazon as well. So around any kind of holiday season, you'll always find these a little bit cheaper, and I always pick up a few extra. It's always worth just having a couple of these in your bag, just in case you ever kind of manage to fill a card and you can't dump it to a laptop or something like that. They're so cheap, it's worth just having a few extras. Now, next up we have a camera strap, but it's not the kind of traditional kind of camera strap. Most modern cameras will come with a strap and you kind of throw that over your neck and you carry it around. Now, I've never liked having a camera basically on my chest there. It always felt a bit awkward, and if you're walking around all day, it can be quite tight on your neck and things as well. So I actually went for a camera sling. Now, this one's from Black Rapid. Been absolutely, you know, blown away by the quality of this. It's been fantastic, and rather than just go around your neck, it actually goes over your shoulder, almost like a messenger bag kind of style, and the camera sits down to one side, which is far more comfortable and so much easier just to lift the camera when you come to take a shot. Now, this again was a little bit more expensive, but I've had a look through Amazon, there's definitely cheaper options out there as well. And again, just a really simple thing, real subtle change on a kind of normal tradition, but just having that camera off to one side works so much better. And again, brilliant piece of kit, highly recommended. Now, this is an item that might not spring to mind as like being essential, but I can't tell you the amount of times it's got me out of a tricky situation. And it is just a multi-tool. Now, this one, I can't even remember the brand of this. I will find some similar kind of links to go below, but it's got all sorts of things on here. There's like little screwdriver heads, bottle opener obviously because you always need one of those, a knife, a pair of pliers on this one as well. And as you'll know with like most traditional kind of multi-tools, they're really pocketable, really easy to carry, just one of those things that you can leave in a bag and not think about. But I'll guarantee you, when you get to a point where you've got a loose screw on something, or you need to tighten off a light stand or something like that, this becomes absolutely essential. And I can't, like I say, I can't tell you the amount of times it's got me out of a situation. The pliers on this one aren't amazing, but they do just enough just to be able to tighten something off. And if that gets me through a shoot and gets me out of a tricky situation, then for however much this has cost, £10–15, something like that, I can't tell you how much that actually saves me. So again, a little multi-tool, just something that you can leave in your bag and forget about, absolutely essential. On to the next one, and this one again is a slightly different kind of take on things, but it's just a little LED panel light. Now this is a young Nuo, however you say that brand, is one of their Air version of lights. They've just released the Mark II, this is a slightly older one, but again, a fantastic piece of kit that costs very little in the grand scheme of things, and again just got me out of so many different situations. Sometimes you just need like a pop of light in the background, or just to illuminate someone's face or a subject. And if you're out on site and you haven't got access to things like wall plugs and things, being able to pop a battery in this and just illuminate a corner or something like that is an absolutely fantastic piece of kit. It really gets you out of so many little situations. Now, LED lights, there's so many different kind of brands and so many different shapes and sizes. I use the bowling ones quite a lot, which are RGB as well, but they're a lot more expensive. But there's so much variety that you'll definitely find something that fits your needs. And again, the little aperture lights are fantastic just for a little pop of colour or a little pop of light here and there, and definitely something worth checking out. So again, essential piece of kit. And finally, it's one of those items that isn't very kind of sexy to talk about or anything like that, but it's cleaning products. So I use these sensor cleaners, and I'll again leave a link in the description below. But there's all sorts of little items that you can pick up in terms of cleaning kits, including these blowers, and obviously just lens cloths and things like that, and things like a lens pen. This one has a brush on the end. It's great for just cleaning bigger bits of dirt off your camera and things. But these items are absolutely essential. Can't tell you when I've been out on shoots and you're in a dusty environment or something like that, if you notice a piece of dust on something and you need to clean it properly, having these in a bag becomes an absolute lifesaver. And the other thing is, obviously, in terms of camera maintenance, at least kind of once a month or so, you want to give your cameras a really good clean. Cleaning a sensor is definitely a scary thing to do, and I don't advise to do it yourself if you're unsure at all. Obviously get it professionally cleaned, but again, when you got a big shoot coming up or something like that and you find a bit of dust on a sensor, having something like this available to actually clean it properly gets you out of so many sticky situations. But as with all of these items, just be careful how you use them. Make sure you're not going to damage anything as well. We don't want any major accidents. But cleaning items, I'll find a few, link them in the description below, but absolutely essential for most of our needs. So I hope you found some of these items useful. Again, leave a comment below if you've got suggestions over your own things. Trying to keep them under that £50 bracket just because they are a little bit more affordable and time's going to be quite tough coming up. So some of these items, just being cheaper, make it absolutely essential purchases. I probably will do another video with slightly more expensive items as well, so let me know if you're interested in that. And as always, if you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And obviously, if you'd like to see more, do consider hitting the subscribe button. But take care of yourselves and stay safe, and hopefully I'll see you in another video soon.